Hey, what's up? I just wanted to kind of take the time to do like almost like a tribute or just a highlight or acknowledgement of a couple of cameras that have really changed my experience with photography over the last couple of years. Um, but I want to start off by giving a little backdrop, a little backstory. I was kind of tired of shooting for other people in the sense that I was doing a lot of freelance work and a lot of, events and headshot stuff and, getting requests to do like family sessions and even so that I don't do like weddings. And it's just like I saw photography at the time as like this job. So what was once like a pure passion of mine kind of got turned into like a second gig that I was doing in addition to my day job. And it just wasn't as fun anymore. I started to almost resent my Canon EOS R. And so I wanted to bring that spark back. I wanted to bring that passion back. And I just, figured like maybe getting a different camera would be a way to like jumpstart that. And I thought that camera would be the Fujifilm X100V. But when I looked to go look up the prices of that thing around the time that I was looking, I was like, yeah, I'm not willing to invest that much into it. The prices were just way too inflated. I considered doing film as well because, I was, was really enjoying like working with my, Yashica D TLR, but I had ran into like some issues with the shutter speed on that, and I had to get it fixed. And then when I started developing a few rolls after that, maybe like a few months later, I was running into more issues where they weren't coming out, and I wasn't sure if it was a matter of like me messing up on the processing or if I should take it in again or what. I didn't know what was going on. And so film in my mind started to become like this hassle that I just did not want to deal with. So I was like, so how can I get like this enjoyment of film, but also have the conveniences of digital and, not really having to worry about those mechanical things kind of going down or worrying about the processing and all of that and developing, especially the pricing of it too, which was also starting to get really expensive. And the X100V seemed to fill that spot. It was a beautiful looking camera. It had like these very tactile additions to it that, for the shutter speed and for the ISO and some of the lenses for the aperture. And I was just like, yeah, this would be great. But again, the pricing of it and the models that came before it were just too inflated because of their popularity at the time. And so I was like, okay, what are the other options? I really want, that camera, that small compactness and in those features of the film simulations and all that. So I started looking into some of their other models and ended up landing on the X-E2s. This was the first one I got. It got basically everything I wanted except for like the rangefinder window that the X100V had, and I thought that aesthetic was really pleasing to the eye, and I really wanted that, but at the time again I couldn't get that, and so I shot with the X-E2s for maybe 8 months, maybe a year. I can't remember really. But I was enjoying it, man. The spark was back. And at the same time, I did like a 30-day photography challenge. So every day I just had to take a picture and I had to print it out only like these 4x6 cards. And maybe I'll throw some B-roll up of me kind of collecting those photos and tossing them in my albums. But that was really fun. So that camera and that challenge really got me shooting again. It got me back in the process of like composing for my own interest and curiosity and just kind of taking my camera with me and everywhere inspiration struck, or if I saw something that looked interesting, I had something on me that wasn't my cell phone. And so that was like the first like big like, man, I'm back. I'm back to loving it for photography's sake and not for like, how can I make a buck off of this? How can I make it work for me or, be an asset? It was like, no, this is for my enjoyment, for my happiness. Another thing I got to do with it was shoot the fair that year. I got some really cool images that night. And again, with everything that was happening in the world and kind of how busy things were getting at work, shooting at the fair that evening, that just day going out by myself was just really fun. It was really dope. I think I got some really cool images with it. And what it showed me was like just the beautiful colors coming out of that camera. I was doing some research into it, and I came across the Fuji X-Pro series, and man, I was like, I think that's the one. It basically was like the XE2 S, but it had that aesthetic of the X100 series, and eventually, I ended up getting that, and I, got this version. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I love holding it and looking at it and shooting with it. Yeah, so with those cameras, I started shooting way more regularly, and just found myself finding like reasons to like go out of my way and just go shoot. Like especially the X-Pro2. Every time I again looked at it, it just inspired me. Like, man, let's get out. Let's go shoot. Let's go. I got to go shoot something with this thing. I took it. The X-E2s, because of its capabilities, like I mentioned earlier, like with it essentially being like a Swiss Army knife. It's essentially the same as the X-Pro2, except it has this cool pop-up. It has this cool pop-up flash, and to me, that is what like. That's the reason I can't get rid of that thing. Every time I thought about trading it in to get when I'm like trying to upgrade my gear, get different gear, I'm like, man, it has shot some. It's been with me on all of my trips. But it's also like coming to clutch in those moments where I've needed like just that extra pop of light in like a dark situation, and because of that, it's just too valuable. It's too practical for me to get rid of, and that's why I love that camera. Yeah, so I normally take it out with just one lens. I have the 27 millimeter pancake that generally stuck on it, but also use like my 35 millimeter, the 17 millimeter, which, this is APS-C. So the 27 millimeter, I believe is more like a 40. Let me check. Yeah. So the 27 millimeter is more like a 40 to 35 is more around like 50. And the 17 gives me around a 25, 24. I got that one because I really wanted that 28 millimeter kind of street look. And man, does that render some really cool photos too. I used that one on my trip to New York, that in the 56 millimeter, which is a TT Artisan's auto lens. So I only have like two auto focus lenses. But I'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, I shot like some cool events like the solar eclipse. I also took the X-Pro2 with me when I went to one of the protests last year for Palestine, and that I was really surprised at how long the battery lasted. I was able to get a few hours of like event work essentially out of it, which is something I normally would have took my Canon EOS R for. But for this, I decided, you know what? It's supposed to be a pro camera. Let me bring this out. Let me try it. And that actually worked out. So I was really proud of it. It did die towards the end, and I had to end up getting some shots with my cell phone, but it still kind of worked out with the set. Yeah, I shot the solar eclipse when that came to Dallas, when it happened. I shot the solar eclipse when that happened in Dallas. And that was such a really cool experience. All the people there just kind of gathered around to capture and witness history happen. And it was just cool, like in that moment, all of us kind of gathering and seeing that together. Just again, so the colors are beautiful. The film simulations look really great, but I still tweak to my taste. I normally shoot in RAW and edit to my taste because I consider my editing as part of my photo making process as well. But there are some photos, especially doing a 30-day challenge, that I just kept the JPEG form because I would shoot it and just Bluetooth it straight to my phone and then print it out on my little Canon thing. And actually, there's a video I have posted on here where the first like 15 minutes of that video is of me just printing out photos actually from that challenge. And so yeah, that was just a fun little time. But yeah, I was so in love with the photos that I was cool with just printing them straight out from that without even tweaking them. So, but I do normally do that, and I do normally shoot in RAW or shoot in RAW plus JPEG. Something that kind of comes up in these videos a lot is it appropriate for 2025? And for my use, both these cameras are timeless. I just need something that's generally compact and takes photos. You give me control over my aperture, my shutter speed, and my ISO. I mean, that camera's golden to me, and they serve that purpose. I'm a slow shooter. I only take the shot once I'm satisfied with the composition, and most of my lenses are manual focus, as you've seen. Me and these cameras, we just go together. We flow, and the relationship works. So to me, they are appropriate, and I would use them to shoot anything. There's nothing I wouldn't use either of these cameras for, at least for the things that I do. I don't shoot sports, but I have shot like some sporting events. Again, I'm not necessarily using like the high, shutter speeds on that. I'm very slow, very intentional. The kind of shots that I go for probably isn't what the typical person goes for, but, it all works for me. They're older cameras, and I got them secondhand. So I got them cheaper. That's another thing I loved about it. It just wasn't very cost prohibitive to get these cameras, especially the X-E2s. With everything that was going on with the inflated prices of the X100V and, the X-E4 and all of that, I was just like, man, no way. So these were like a godsend to be able to get secondhand, and because of their age and because of what people think of like older cameras and how they're like discussed on YouTube, that thankfully made them so much more accessible for me. So I hope all the big YouTube channels keep talking like these cameras are obsolete and like they just can't compete, and I'll continue to be able to gobble them up at a decent price. Which, the camera, this video isn't about this camera, but I also have the Fuji GFX 50S, so the Mark I version of that, and I'm hoping to shoot some portraiture projects on that thing, and that's a medium format sensor. It's the Mark I, so it's the older version, and everyone talks about the 50R. It's a beautiful looking camera. I get it. Everybody talks about the 50S2 and the 100 and all of that. They're great. They're awesome. But this one is, I'm loving the images I'm seeing on the back screen of that thing already. So I can't wait to shoot the projects that I've been planning for that and have in mind for that. And I'm just so glad that I was just able to get access to that, because again, I'm shooting with my Yashica D. I was able to test the roll of film through that and found it turns out that it is firing. So I'm happy with that. I got the green light on that I can start shooting that again. I just got some 200 gold that I added in there, and I'm hoping to shoot like maybe a combination of that plus the GFX 50S, and just kind of have this medium format portrait project going. But again, I'll reveal more on that eventually. But just, yeah, it's just crazy. Just the cameras you're able to get access to, because of how good everything is. And I'm glad the technology is getting better. I'm glad the camera industry is advancing. But again, it does open up opportunities for us to get some of these legacy, devices just at a very good bargain price. So, in summary and in conclusion, these cameras have recaptured my spark and passion for photography. The interchangeable lens options, have enabled me to try a variety of focal lengths and photography genres, and to never feel limited, really. I feel like I can, again, use these to shoot anything that I'm interested in shooting, especially in the style and the process that I like to approach photography with. They work with me, they go hand in hand. The colors and data coming off the APS-C sensor have been a dream to work with in post. I love editing these photos. I'm still working through my New York trip, and sharing those photos as quickly as I can edit them. But I'm loving it, loving everything I'm seeing in Lightroom and Photoshop with them. The X-E2s and the X-Pro2 are excellent everyday cameras, everyday carry cameras, and I intend to hang on to them. So if these are two cameras that you've kind of been considering and just kind of been on the fence about or been wanting to try out, I say pull the trigger, go for it. You can't go wrong with them. If you love photography, these are going to help you to sustain that love, sustain that passion, and to just get out there and to be able to shoot. They're going to be able to grow with you as you get better, and as you just kind of grow and evolve in your skills. They can definitely go along with you. They've done that for me, and I'm just fully confident. But yeah, if you have any questions for me about either of these two cameras or even the GFX 50S, the little time I've had that, just drop it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them, respond, or maybe someone else can kind of chime in if they have a pretty good experience or explanation they can give you too. But other than that, just hope you all are still good, and be on the lookout for the next video.